Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Hearts of Darkness, a filmmaker's apocalypse. And it was a documentary that came along with the Apocalypse Now Final Cut edition release, this version. And I've seen this documentary once before, back when I first got this. And I'm just now reviewing it, and this is the second time I've seen it. And I like this documentary. I like that it's basically just a behind-the-scenes look as to like the production troubles of making Apocalypse Now, and it took 238 days to complete the shoot for Apocalypse Now. It talks about certain things like before the initials they started shooting it, like originally some things, some ideas and approaches were being made to the project, and it just never started because no one wanted to pick it up. It explores a lot of that stuff, and has interviews with people like Francis Ford Coppola, the producers, and George Lucas is in it because at one point he was set to be attached to it, and that just didn't work out. And the most that I got out of this movie is just understanding the mindset Francis Ford Coppola had while making the movie. And you can tell that he was definitely under a lot of stress because this movie was like taking forever to make it. Things have been going wrong left and right. And it really just highlights how like shooting on location and outdoors can be a huge pain. And this is like, I don't know, one of the biggest examples of that. There was even a point where they were shooting a scene when a typhoon was happening and it like destroyed most of the sets. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And they just shot it as it was happening. And the scene that they shot, that scene is in the Redux version. And they also talked about one of the scenes where it was only included in the Redux version and the final cut, not the theatrical cut. And they kind of just talk about it as they were deleted scenes. And obviously with the Redux version and the final cut already out now, we can just look at those scenes and say, oh, those were just in the later cuts, but those cuts of the movie weren't out yet because this documentary came out in 1991, and the Redux version, it came out in 2000, I believe, and the final cut was 2019, I think. So I thought I'd mention that, and I know this is kind of obvious to point out, but having this story being told from multiple perspectives from different people involved with the project instead of just Francis Ford Coppola was very interesting. I think it added a lot to the movie, and like you get more context as to like people's mindsets while on the film. And Martin Sheen, like he had a heart attack at a certain point, like while making Apocalypse Now, and that caused some drama. And if there's one emotion to feel while watching this documentary, while the people were making Apocalypse Now, it's stress because things are just constantly going wrong, and they somehow made this movie work. And it was like a huge success, and it's also one of my favorite movies. It's my favorite war movie, as some of you might know. And I also do like that this documentary highlights that Francis Ford Coppola never cared for the ending of Apocalypse Now. He was just thinking to himself, like, certain things that were never answered, and you really do get a sense that he was really trying to make something special with this movie, and he wanted more to it. And that's possibly why we have multiple cuts of Apocalypse Now, because he was just like trying to give more to the movie, if that makes sense. And although I have been pretty positive about this movie so far, there are a couple things holding it back. And first off, I do think that the first half is better than the second half. And my only reason why it's stronger in the first half is because after a certain point, it just kind of feels like it's starting to get a little repetitive. And I know it's only focused on one thing. It's just behind the scenes, focused on Francis Ford Coppola's mentality while making this impossible project, basically. I get to the point of it. It's just that the information we're receiving isn't anything new. And I didn't really start feeling this until like the last 10-15 minutes. So it's not too big of a criticism. And also, one other thing that kind of bugged me about it is that it does play the music that's iconic from Apocalypse Now. The end from The Doors, I think is the band's name or the artist's name. And it's a great song and all, but the way that it was used in this movie, I found was emotionally manipulative and didn't earn it and was just there just to say, hey, you remember Apocalypse Now, you remember that song, we're including this song. And it just didn't feel like it was earned for me. But that's about all I have to say about Hearts of Darkness, A Filmmaker's Apocalypse. It was good. I liked it. I liked learning about Apocalypse Now. I feel as though I got enough out of it to recommend it. And it's very interesting. So if you like Apocalypse Now, then watch this movie for sure, so you can learn about it. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Hearts of Darkness, A Filmmaker's Apocalypse, a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Hearts of Darkness, A Filmmaker's Apocalypse, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for War Dogs. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.